Welcome back. Now to the trial of Young Thug. The Atlanta rapper's attorneys arguing the case is too cumbersome for the jury. Joining us live now, Meghann, the reporter, Meghann Cuniff. Always great to have you on. I love you on social media. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. There's a lot happening here with this Young Thug trial, so I want you to just catch us up because I'm trying to follow it on TikTok, which is just a funny thing to say, I think, these days. But I'm trying, but there are so many sound bites and so many hilarious, things coming out of this that probably are not meant to be funny, but it seems like some people are just making a mockery of the trial, so I don't really fully understand what's going on. Can you catch us up?
Well, we just got done with a really big witness, and this was probably the biggest witness that they'd had testify so far. His name is Trontavious Stevens, and he actually took a plea deal back in December and confessed to co-founding this gang. He has known Young Thug for years. They grew up in Atlanta together in the Cleveland Avenue area, and the way prosecutors tell it, Young Thug never left Trontavious. His nickname is Tick or Slug. Prosecutors say Young Thug never left him behind, that Young Thug became a celebrity, but was also still engaging in criminal activity with Tick, whereas Brian Steele, who we see on the screen here doing an examination, is Young Thug's lead lawyer, and he did the cross-examination of Tick, where he really tried to show that, Tick was kind of a wayward friend that tried to separate the two from each other. And this was several days of testimony over a couple of weeks. What's really struck me about this is how kind of slow and easygoing the trial is. There are a lot of comfort breaks, as the judge calls, quite a few comfort breaks.
What is it Young Thug accused of doing?
So he's accused of organized crime. Basically, he has a record label called YSL in Atlanta, and the police are saying that, and prosecutors are saying that YSL is a criminal street gang, that the gang that Tick, who we see testifying here, has confessed to leading and engaging in criminal activity with. They're saying that's the same as his record label, as Young Thug's record label, whereas the defense is saying, no, these are two separate entities, that Young Thug cannot be responsible for the crimes of his friends, but prosecutors' whole case is showing that he's influencing that, and that these guys are out committing crimes not in furtherance of themselves necessarily, but in furtherance of the YSL gang that Young Thug is directing. That's the whole basis for their organized crime case. It's a RICO case, is kind of the crime catchphrases these days.
Now that that we've gone through this testimony, the thought by some was that this was a very ambitious case for the prosecutor to take on. The name Young Thug is a great rap name, not so great if you end up in court, but I know they were trying to use some of his music, where we know guys rap about, glamorized crime and the ladies and the cars and designer labels, things that they may or may not have, things they may or may not have done. Are those things working against Young Thug now that he's on trial?
Yeah, definitely. Prosecutors are trying to use all that against him. They're pointing to his song lyrics and saying, hey, he's talking about this stuff really blatantly. But Brian Steele, who's Young Thug's lead lawyer, really just took the bull by the horns in his opening statement and told the jury point blank that Thug actually stands for truly humble under God. Oh. And that's kind of the tone of the defense so far. Is Pushin' P is a song with Young Thug, Gunna, and Future. And, of course, prosecutors are implying and saying that Pushin' P is about selling drugs, about pushing Percocet. And Brian Steele said, no, it's not that at all. It's about pushing positivity. And that is really the tone of the defense here, is that the prosecutors just have this all wrong, that this is Young Thug leaving his life of crime behind and embracing positivity. And Tick, his wayward friend from childhood, was always kind of there, and Young Thug's not going to just kick him to the curb, but he wasn't there condoning and cheering on all of Tick's criminal activity either. Of course, prosecutors actually have a song that they point to, Ew, that Young Thug wrote that actually mentions Tick. And in Tick's plea deal, he admits that in this song where it says she be getting robbed by Tick, that is him. And it refers to an armed robbery that prosecutors say Tick did. So it's kind of a question of, is the jury going to be able to differentiate between reality and the studio reality of these songs? And where is the line between reality and just raps?
Well, we have to bring Tick along slowly. If you're pushing positivity, no man left behind. We have to go. Tell me one more time what Thug stands for, according to him.
Truly humble under God.
Truly humble under God. Now we know that's what Thug stands for. Meghann Cuniff, thank you so much. We have your site up very quickly on Shopify.
Yes, Shopify. You know, I had to take lemons and turn them into lemonade. So the missive that Tory Lanez directed at me, I took that, turned it into a couple of logos for some merchandise. I got to say the coffee mugs are the biggest, hottest item. So I'm getting everything in, and I'm going to be shipping it out next month. So thank you all for your orders.
Very good. And your girl Megan Thee Stallion still in the headlines. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Quick break. We'll be right back.